Hi guys, thanks for you giving me a bit of your time. This is an example of how I teach the runes and how I teach people to read them. I'm only going to go over the first 4 runes, and actually in the classes would go into deep vision and you'd experience the rune first in a vision before I tell you the meaning of it. But this way I'm just going to explain the first 4 runes of Freya's 8. Now I use the Elder Futhark runes, which are the oldest form. And they are divided into 3 families of 8. And the first 8 being Freya's 8. And the first 4 runes would be Fayu, Uraz, Thoraz, and Ansuz. Now, first of all, Fayu in the old language means cattle. It's the rune of abundance, but not any abundance. It's an abundance that you can transfer. So upright, this means prosperity and abundance coming your way. Therefore, upside down, abundance flowing away, a price to pay. But it's or a debt that's owed. But it's also the rune of the divine feminine, Freya. So this is a woman upright in her prime of youth, a young maiden. This is upside down. This may be a young maiden from the past or a young maiden on the other side. This way would be a young maiden who may fall in the future, or a young maiden who fell in the past. Just like this could be abundance blocked in the future or abundance blocked in the past. So we have these 3 things, abundance and femininity, but it also represents something else. The young female child, a little girl. So this is drawing attention to, say, the daughter's energy. This is drawing attention to a daughter who may fall in the future, a daughter who was sick or laid down in the past, or a daughter of feminine character, a young female on the other side. Then we go on to the second rune, which is Uraz. Now I'll change colours here because I'm going to put Fayu and Ur. I say Uraz because I do a thing called Goltha, which is chanting the runes, and that as on the end really brings it into a frequency that heals. Now, for those of you who don't know what an Urok is, I'm going to do this so you can see. This means cattle in the old language. This means ancient cattle. To our ancestors of Northern Europe, the Urok was a buffalo or a wild cow that was 9 foot to the shoulder. They were our food, our clothing, our strength. So when we use Uraz, we mean the power, the strength of a bull or of an Urak. It's not necessarily the healing rune, but it's the energy you use to heal. So upright, this is something that's got great power. So if you've got a daughter there and she's got great power, she's in her strength. But this could mean a daughter, then upside down, I'll change colour again. This could be a daughter, 2 runes together, who is sick, because this is energy flowing in, this is energy flowing away. This will be energy blocked in the future. This will be energy blocked in the past. Not always this way, but with these runes. This is an abundance or prosperity rune. This is an action, either power or weakness, an adjective that gives this more power. Now the third rune we talk about is Thoraz, or the rune Thor. Let's go to this way here, which is this way. Now, it's the rune of the god Thor, but it's also a barbed wire, a thorn on a rose bush, a bramble hedge, a blackthorn hedge that protects people from getting in to get you, but also stops you getting out. So it's the rune of boundaries. It's very protective, but aggressive protection, like killing an ant with a hammer. So this is ultimately loads of protection. This is under attack. Somebody's digging thorns in you. And this can sometimes be associated with somebody who is self-harming or an autoimmune disease where your protection, your immunity attacks you. So this is strong defense. This is being attacked. This one is a barrier between you and the ground, stopping you connecting, stopping you being grounded, stopping you fitting in. You don't feel like home, you're up in the air. The other way, this is a barrier between you and the gods. And I'll draw another little drawing here to help you understand. I do it like the ego hat. There we go, there's a little man there wearing the ego hat. You can have too much ego that stops you connecting to the gods and you think it's all about you. Or you can have too little ego where you have the gifts and the gods are working with you, but you refuse to use it. Both are equally bad. So it's telling you, don't get your ego hat off and trust what the gods are showing you. And working with the runes, we are stepping aside from our ego. We are trusting and saying exactly what the runes show us. The final rune I'm going to show you today is called Ansuz or Answer, and it's where the word answers comes from in the English language. This is, I want to change that to blue, make it easier. There we go. To trust your intuition, to know the truth, to hear your voice, to have your voice heard. Upside down, going against your intuition, going against what you should be doing, saying untruths. What you're saying is completely wrong. This way, your voice is blocked in the future. Your voice or intuition was blocked in the past. Now, I teach my students to read 3 runes at a time to answer questions. And when we learn the runes, we don't want to know what the question is first of all. We'll do a 9-rune cast, and the first 3, we have to tune into the client, and what we see has to make sense to them. Bear in mind, we'll be using 24 runes by then. But a prime example, if somebody asks, what do I need to know in my life? I will go to this, and I'll put energy blocked, Thoraz reversed. Now we'll change that. We'll make it Thoraz down to the ground, because then we have. So there we go. They're all in the blocked position. Now, when you look at that, you can say the energy is blocked in the future. Somebody's not grounded. Is this finances or a young child, a female, because she doesn't fit in? Can you see how I'm getting that? I'll change them round and we'll do it a different way. Somebody asks a question about money, specifically. The 3 questions they normally ask about health, wealth, and prosperity. Or love as well, that's another big popular one. So, somebody's relationship abundance was blocked in the past because they had an addictive personality. But they've healed from that, and there will be power and strength around finances in the future. Somebody asks about what's happening with my sister. Your sister's still is haunted by things that have attacked her, or she's abused herself in the past, maybe drug addiction, but she is healing, she is strength. So these are just 3 runes. We can swap them round many ways and they come up with different answers. And the beauty of the runes is you can give somebody a rune to rebalance that frequency. If you're interested in learning the runes, my next class starts on the 7th of January, and I'd love to teach you what the gods will teach me. May the gods be with you.